Welcome back to another episode of the Destiny by Design podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Mitchell, and I'm so excited for my guest today. Her name is Norma Davis. She's a local here from Iowa, where I'm from, and it's just such a pleasure to get to hear her testimony and hear her dream come to life as the Lord has planted in her heart to do traveling tea parties. So she literally has this amazing business called Norma's Traveling Tea Parties. I can't wait for you to hear what the Lord has done in her life. Hi, Norma. Thank you so much for joining me today on the podcast. I'm so excited just to hear your story, and I'm so thankful to the Lord that He made our paths cross. I love it.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Jordan, for having me. It's such an honor
Yeah,
to join you and be on your podcast. I just love what you're doing. So thank you for having me.
thank you so much. Thank you, Norma. Norma, would you just start out by sharing, who are you? Who in the
Yep.
world is Norma Davis? A little bit about your family.
Sure. So my name is Norma Davis, and I am from Columbus Junction, Iowa. I have been married to my husband Parnell for 16 years now, going on 16 next month, actually. And together we have
Woohoo!
6 boys. So I am a busy boy mom. So my oldest is 14 years old, and my youngest is about to be
Wow.
2 next month. So everything in between. We are a very, very busy family, but I love it. I like to call it organized chaos, even though sometimes it doesn't really feel organized. But it's
Yes,
all I
I
know.
love it.
It's all I know because I personally come from a big family myself. I'm the youngest of 7 children. And so that's all I've ever known is, the loud and the busy and the everything that comes with that. So yeah,
Yes.
that's just who we are, the season that I'm in right now, and I love it because I know it goes really fast.
Yes, for sure. And you're like, you've got double the boys that I do. Like, I love the chaos and the dirt and the trucks and all the things that we do, but
Yes.
you're like, you've got the double and you have a
I got the
14-year-old. That's crazy. That's
My
amazing.
goodness, yeah, like, we just unlocked a new level of parenting with teenage boys, right? And so I'm about to have 2
I'm gonna
teenagers.
call you when I need some assistance with that.
Yes, do. I'm no professional, but I think I'm a little seasoned when it comes to boy moms.
Yes, I love it so much. And then
That's
you
awesome.
and Parnell, your husband is a pastor.
Yes, he is a pastor at the church here in Columbus Junction. We
I
started that
love
church
that.
going on 3 years now, so it's been a
That's so
blessing. It's been amazing to just learn the role of whatever that looks like, being a pastor's wife, if you will. We both have a heart to reach people. He has a heart to reach the youth. He worked for
yes.
a youth group or a youth organization for a lot of years. So his heart along with mine is just to get people to love Jesus and know him and genuinely know him.
Yes.
So it's been amazing.
That is so cool. I love that so much. Just watching you guys raise your boys and be in ministry and just be a light to everyone you see. There's
Thank
never a time
you.
that I haven't ran into your husband and he's not talking about the Lord, and I love that so much. Whether
I
it's
love
at
that.
the coffee shop or the grocery
Yes.
store, I love that. Um, Norma, would you mind sharing just a little bit about your childhood and even, like, how you came to know the Lord? It's always so fun to hear.
Absolutely. So like I said, I was raised in a large family and I was raised in a Catholic home. So, we did all the things on Sundays and went to church, and I personally never really felt a connection when I did go to church, and I struggled with knowing who God was, right? And
Right.
so I grew up that way, and it was something that I was dealing with personally. And later down the road, I always went through the motions, if you will. I think a lot of us just go through the motions of checking the boxes, going to church, doing all the things, but never really having a genuine relationship with the Lord. And it wasn't
Yeah.
until I was 20 years old, actually, when I met my husband Parnell, that I really, really developed a relationship with the Lord. And it
Yes.
was it was during a really hard time in my life, and so I was going down a really dark path, and so God was always there. That's the cool thing that I'm able to see now, that God literally through all of the seasons that I thought he wasn't there, he was. And so I'm so thankful because I don't even like to think of what it could have looked like if he wouldn't have been. So
Yeah. What would I have done without you? Like, when we
right.
do look back and even in the midst of those seasons, we're like, "God, where are you? There's no way you're in this. There's no way you're for me. There's no way that you're real even right now." And
Right.
then once we meet him and we look back at our life, we're like, "Oh my gosh, like, the scripture is so true, like, he never leaves us. He never forsakes us." He might have, walked through us through a really, really, really hard time, but it's like he can redeem that. He can show us how he can turn whatever happened to us, like, he can really use that for his glory, and he
Yes.
can turn what Satan meant for evil into what only he can do. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
I love that you grew up in, like, a big, loud family and just,
Yes.
like, the joy that comes with having siblings and all the things. It's awesome.
All the
I love
things.
that so much. And I love that, the Lord knows how to get our heart, right? Like, he helps
Oh,
you,
yeah.
attracted to Parnell and all the qualities that Parnell holds in order to meet your
Right.
true love, which is Jesus.
Exactly. Because I grew up because I'm it from a big family. I always like one of the things that I always felt like was a calling to me was being a mom. And so ever since I was 8 years old, I couldn't wait to be a mom. And so I always told everybody, all my family, like I want 8 kids. Like 8 kids was my thing. Right? And
I love
I'm 7th and I always felt like the odd one out. So I always wanted 8. That was my number. So when I met Parnell, and we decided, hey, this is pretty serious. We're talking marriage. I told him, I said, I want 8 kids. I hope you like kids
you're
because
like,
I
"Sign
want
here
yeah,
because this is what I want."
right. And so honestly, it was so refreshing when he said, yeah, whatever God has. And I'm like, whoa, he's open to
Okay.
however many. So that was when I knew, like, whoa, he's the one.
I love that so much. I love it. I love how the Lord knows how to get to our heart, and then He has the
Yes,
person for us that's, like, right there to
exactly.
bring us, a lot of encouragement for our dreams and different things. So,
That's right.
Norma, so you met the Lord, like, around 20, like, around the time that you and Parnell met, and then can you share a little bit of you have this amazing business, if anybody doesn't know, she
Thank
has this
you.
amazing business called Norma's Traveling Tea Party, and it's just exactly what it is. It's literally this beautiful tea party that she travels to different locations, different homes, different venues, and she puts on this amazing tea party. So, Norma, would you just share a little bit, like,
Sure.
how that dream came about in your heart and how God brought you to this place of having Norma's Traveling Tea Party?
Absolutely. So honestly, it all started when I was about 8 years old. On my 8th birthday, my mom gifted me my first tea set. And it
Oh
was
my
it was
goodness.
absolutely beautiful. Like it came in a really big box and every time I would play with it, I would clean it, wash it up, put it back in the box and I would hang it on the wall as a decoration. And so I
I
just
love
love yeah, it was so amazing to me whenever I would play with my mom, we would pretend, my sisters, they did a lot of that, and a lot of the times I would play by myself. I would have pretend tea parties, and one of the things that I
Yes.
loved at that time was what it did for me personally. So around that
Mm.
time at about 8 years old, was a really hard time as a child, any child at any age. I began to experience sexual abuse. And it was a
Mm.
really difficult, dark, confusing time in my life. No 8-year-old should ever have to go through any of that, but I did. And it was also a time where I questioned God. And being raised Catholic again, going through the motions, I was really confused as to why God was allowing that to happen to me
Right.
and it was just something that I couldn't deal with. So part of
Yeah.
my being able to deal with it or cope with it was having these pretend tea parties. And I
Yeah.
would escape that hurt or pain or whatever it was I was going through that I never shared with anybody. And so I used
Right.
the tea parties at that point in my life to pretend like I was in a royalty and it was something that brought me so much joy at that time.
Yes.
So eventually I grew out of it, right? I thought I grew out of it. It never really went away. It was in my heart the whole time. Eventually I grew out of it and I continued to walk through some really dark times in my life. And the little girl in me was like, I just wish I could have a tea party, you know?
Yes,
And
just go
so,
back and be at the tea
right.
party.
Exactly, but, that's kinda like that's the you're too old for that, or so I thought. Well, like I said, I went through some really dark times in my life and fast forward to meeting Parnell, and he helped me lead me to the Lord, and through him and just everybody that I surrounded myself with, they helped me realize, like, the passion that I had inside that I didn't really know what it was at the time. So, as a grown woman I was married already. I went to an adult tea party for a church event, and
That's
I was
awesome.
like little girl again, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
Like,
so you're
I love
telling."
you so
Yes. And I was like, "You're telling me that, like, grown women have tea parties?" And, it, like, sparked something within me that I'm like it took me back, to my childhood that I never really let go of, but I felt like I
Yeah.
had to, if that makes sense. And the
Mhm.
ladies there were like, "Yeah, of course, it's amazing, like, we love our tea parties," and I'm like, "This is
You're like,
incredible."
"We do this every week."
Right. So, I at that point and I've always had, like, an old soul is what people like to call it. I love everything vintage. I love everything from I feel like I was born in the wrong era a lot of the times.
You're
But
like, "Wait a minute, Lord."
yeah, right. And I know I'm meant to be here, but I bring a lot of the love for vintage things. And so after that
Yes.
tea party, I started collecting china and teacups and just everything beautiful that was vintage. And I grew to love collecting, and I didn't really do anything with it, to be honest. They were just in boxes. I just loved the fact that
Right.
I have this beautiful teacup.
Yes.
It wasn't until it would have been it's been about a year now that I was sharing with Parnell, my dream, quote unquote dream, one day
Yeah.
would be to open a tea room. And that is something that I would still love to do at some point, somewhere like an actual brick and mortar place where people could go to and tea. And, it's decked out. I love pink. And so it would,
Yes.
in my head, I envisioned it like pink everywhere, florals everywhere. And it was his sister. I was sharing that with him too. And in my head, I thought, I have 6 boys. This is not going to happen until they're grown. I'm
No.
retired. That's probably when this is going to happen. Well, my sister-in-law was like, "Why does it have to wait until then? Why can't you do
Yeah.
something now?" And I'm like, "No, I can't do that. I'm a busy boy mom." Like that's
Right.
okay.
Something's
And
gonna get
so
broken.
Right, exactly. The funny thing about that is my boys, they love tea parties. Like, I'm
I
actually
love
in my tea
it.
room right now, and I set up and they'll come and ask me, especially my little ones, "Can we have a tea party today? Can we?" And so I have it set up in here for a tea party anytime.
I love it. Anytime you guys are ready, I'm ready. I love it.
Exactly. You say tea party, I'm on it.
We're on it.
So yeah, it just was something that when she said that I brought it up to Parnell and he's like, "Well, it's true. Why do you have everything?" And I had at that point I had over 50 teacups, like just
Oh my goodness. You're like, "I'm ready."
I'm ready. Yeah. So he was like, and even my boys, they're like, "Yeah, just do it, mom." And I really second guessed myself for a long
Mhm.
time. Like Parnell, he was all about it. He created my logo a year ago in May, and I was still like, I don't know. I was on the
Oh
fence
my
until August when I launched the business. And in the
yes.
meantime, I was still second guessing, like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I've always been such a people pleaser that
Mhm.
I doubted, like, who's gonna want
That's
to
what she
come.
needs.
Yes, like, who's gonna but then I realized, like, I want to share that same joy that I
Mhm.
had having my pretend tea parties, because it brings you so much joy. Like you go to a place where because not everybody's fancy every day, right? And
Right,
it's
right.
fun, right? It's fun to be fancy every once in a while, and you don't have to be fancy. That's the fun of it is you come as you are,
Mhm.
you have a good time, you sit around a table with your loved ones and you just enjoy that moment with them. And
Yes.
that's really the heart behind Norma's Traveling Tea Party is bringing that joy and the beautiful teacups, the beautiful teapots, like the beauty of it to the table so that everybody can enjoy just time of fellowship and
Yes.
yeah, so it's been amazing.
I love that so much. Like, your life is what I literally teach in Destiny by Design, so that's so cool. Like, we talk
Oh,
about
awesome.
what did you used to play as a child? Like, what did you used to pretend to be? Like, and, sometimes that gives us a hint of what we're still literally passionate
Yes,
about that we've, like, pushed to the side or forgotten about. So, I love that you're like, "I literally used to pretend to do this,"
yes,
and then God
exactly.
has just expanded on that dream of just being like, "I would love to do this," and then we literally can't do anything, 1, without the Lord. and 2, without people surrounding us and saying, "You can do this," like, "You would be
Yeah.
really good at that," like, encouraging us and pushing us, and so that's another beautiful part of the Destiny by Design journey is thinking about, like, "Okay, I have my people that have been pushing me to do this," or "I've had this dream and I've never said it out loud," or "I know the Lord
Right.
is stirring stuff in me, like, I just need to go after it," you know?
Yes.
So, that whole thing is just so amazing, and I can't wait to experience your traveling. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
And so I love that. So for those of you who don't know, me and Norma are going to, like, collab together, and we're gonna do this amazing tea party June
Yes.
27th in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, and we would love for you to come.
Would
And,
love
you know,
yes.
the fun thing is, you know, we'll come wearing whatever you want. If you wanna get fancy, get fancy. If you wanna be casually cute, because 'cause you're
Yes.
cute anyway. But come expecting the Lord to move and expecting the Lord to speak to you, because that's the fun part about a tea party is we're coming and we're excited and we're ready to fellowship and just enjoy ourselves like Norma said. But the other fun part is I'm going to get to pour truth onto you because the
Yeah.
word of God is so powerful. It doesn't return void. And there's so much in each and every woman that's going to be there that the Lord has to just love on you and encourage you. And so that's what Destiny by Design is all about, is just encouraging you with the word of God that he really has placed something in us to give back
Right.
to the world so that the world will come to know him, because it's all about Jesus. It's not about a
Amen.
program, it's not about a person, it's all about Jesus because the world needs to know Jesus. And
Yes.
even through Norma's traveling tea party, I'm believing that your beautiful testimony of what the Lord has done in your life, and even though this was a way of, for you to escape at some, you know, at a point in your life, the Lord is gonna use that because so many people have walked through what you've walked through also. And for you to sit here and say, God was faithful through it all. Yes, it happened. Yes, it was painful. But what Satan means for evil, God means for good. And he really has shown you that through your life. And so I love that you have just stepped out and done this. And it seemed to be really successful, and people always have
Thank
just a great
you.
time attending.
Yes, it's been so amazing because, like I said, it took me months to finally, like, jump off the cliff of faith, right?
Yeah.
And finally, when I did, I started going to nursing homes and backyards
Oh,
and dining rooms and literally anywhere. I actually just did another part of, my business is I will come to you and I'll go anywhere you want me to. So a couple weeks ago, I had one at Parnell's MMA gym. So
yeah.
it's never been done before, like learn how to kickbox and then have a tea party, So like it's
Yes.
just amazing how I like joy can be anywhere. And, I not me, it's not me, right? It's the
Yes,
joy of
amen.
the Lord that I want to share with everybody that sits around the table
Absolutely.
and enjoys a cup of tea and enjoys their fellowship with their loved ones. That's what that I feel like has been successful because people I think they desire, they want that time with their loved ones or memories to make,
Yes.
and so
Yes.
it's been amazing. I'm so excited to do this event with you because I know what you're doing is absolutely incredible. And I feel like a lot of women, specifically, I'm speaking for the women,
Mhm.
we struggle with second guessing everything. We have mom brain and
Yes.
we have a bunch of tabs open all the time. And so a lot of
Mhm.
that what happens is we get sucked into all of the things that we have to do. And so I don't have time for this or I love
Yeah.
this. I'm passionate about it, but I
Mhm.
don't think I can do it. I don't have the time, I don't have the patience, I don't have this or that. And that's something that I struggled with for months until finally I'm like, I'm
Yes. You're like, "I'm just gonna do it."
yeah, and so it's been so incredible because I have to share this one story about one of my
Yes, please do.
yes. So I actually had a tea party at a nursing home and the husband and wife were there. The wife was visiting the husband. He was a resident
Okay.
and he went to this tea party, right? And she went with him, of course, and they had a great time. I mean, it's not just for women. Like I have men that
Yeah.
join. It's incredible. And, we had a great time, and then this would have been in October, last October. So then
Mhm.
in February, January or February, I have to go back and think, but, I get a call from the wife, and she said, I was at your tea party at this nursing home. My husband passed away in December, and before he passed away, this literally, like, brought tears to my eyes when she told me because this is why I do this. she said, "Before he passed away, he encouraged me to reach out to you and have a tea party with my neighbors, my friends in the neighborhood so that I
Yeah.
wouldn't be alone." And
Oh
so
my
I went. She didn't tell she invited all her friends and didn't tell them what they were going to do. So they walked into, the table scapes and
beautiful.
yes, and they just it was absolutely incredible, like, and the host, she felt like the queen, like,
Oh, I
it
bet.
being the host and the it was just absolutely amazing, and,
I love it.
it's just to me, it was something that I'm like, this is why I
Yes,
do
this is
this."
the why behind what I do. I love that. And
Exactly.
just the beauty in that and when people enjoy it so much because life is fast, it's busy, it's crazy, and when you can just sit down and just savor the moment and savor
Yeah,
the homemade, treats that you make and all the things, like, it's so powerful, and it's such a sweet picture because the Lord is preparing us a table, like, we're gonna go have
right.
the most extravagant tea party
Oh, I
in
love that.
heaven one day, and he's just bringing a little bit of heaven to earth with Norma's traveling tea party, and
Oh,
it's just so neat. Um, so I love how you guys just take your passion and you say, "Okay, Lord, thank you for this passion. I'm gonna give it back to you, God, and please with this passion help other people come to know you." So that's we overcomplicate it all the time, like, "How can I be the light?" or "What am I supposed to do with my
right,
life?" Like, take what you're passionate about, give it to the Lord and say, "Use this somehow," because our desires in our heart are already from Him. We act
right.
sometimes like we placed them there or we found them, but they've been there all along from Him.
Exactly.
We just have to say, "God, here you go." And so
There you
I
go.
love that it's all about Him in every part of you guys' lives, and
I
it's
love it.
so healthy for your kids to be seeing that you guys live out what you're passionate about also, because we want our kids to do the same. Like, I want my boys to say, "Yeah, my mom did what she was passionate about." Like,
Exactly.
she loved, going to encourage people to live out what they're called to do, and then same for you, like, my mom did tea parties, but it's so much deeper than that, like,
Right.
she brought joy and she brought fellowship to people, and she really brought the joy of the Lord to all these events that she did, and it's an amazing thing. So, yes, I'm so excited. So, June 27th, Mount Pleasant, Iowa. If you're local to Iowa, you should absolutely make a time to join us. It's going to be like a brunch thing. So, 10 to 2. It's going to be at this beautiful venue called the
Yeah.
Union Block downtown. Hopefully, it's just going to be a beautiful sunny day. But even if it's not, we can come inside and we can enjoy the beauty of Norma's traveling tea party and just be encouraged and filled up with the Word of God. I know the Lord's going to move. Norma, we're praying, we're believing for amazing things to happen that day, and I'm just so excited to eat all the savory and sweet homemade treats she makes and the amazing tea. I don't think I've ever been to, like, an actual tea party, so I'm actually so
Really?
excited.
Like, so I've had a lot of people that have said that too. "Been to a tea party," or "I've never even drank tea,"
Wow!
and they leave just absolutely loving it. So I bet you like the tea.
Yes, I'm sure I'm going to love it. I can't wait to experience. I just wanna thank you, Norma, for just sharing your testimony and, there's so much power in doing that. I know it's gonna impact people and encourage them to, maybe bad things have happened, maybe evil has taken place in my life, but when I'm trusting the Lord, when I'm clinging to Him and trusting that He's gonna redeem those things and use them in my life, I think it's so powerful, and I'm so proud of you for going after your dream. I'm so proud of
Thank
you,
you.
even with all the doubt and all the things that take place in our mind, our mom brain, like you said, it's like to go after it as a mom is it's so amazing, and I'm so thrilled to know you and to hear your testimony, and I'm just so excited for our event together.
Thank you. I can't thank you enough because again, I love what you're doing. I feel like
Yes, Mama.
you alone are a gift to so many. Like everybody, like talk about the joy of the Lord. Like you have that and you're a light. So
I
I
love
just
it.
love that what God has put in your heart, your personally to you to reach so many people that are in the same boat
Yes.
that I was in, like, oh, what am I because I did go through a point in my momhood where I question I know I'm mom and I prayed for that and I love being mom,
Yes.
but what else?
Yes.
Like there's gotta be more and I struggled
Mhm.
and I prayed and I asked God and it so for him to do like a full circle moment of using what I had a passion about as a child to bring it back to me as an
Yes.
adult, that to me is only
I
God.
love it.
And so it's just amazing. I love what you're doing. I love that you took your passion and you're running with it. And You're gonna be
Oh,
you already are a blessing to so many women, but, like, even through what
thank
you're
you.
doing with Destiny by Design, going to flourish. So many, moms and women in general that are like, "Oh, this is what God's calling me to do." So,
Yes.
I think it's amazing.
Thank you, Norma. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful to the Lord just how He uses us, even these imperfect, crazy
Yes,
boy mom vessels of just like, here's my heart, Lord. And it's crazy, even though it takes time to go after your passion, it takes time, it takes effort. You need help, you need support, all these things. It really does give life back to us, even as busy, tired moms. Like, I love being a mom too. I love playing with my kids, I love spending time with them, reading to them, and I know you do too. But there's also something really neat about going after what we're passionate about
yeah,
other than our sweet little precious babies, like, we love them and our husbands too, but
right,
there's something really life-giving about going after what you were made to do other than being a mom, which is and
right.
the most amazing calling, but it's also like, "Okay, Lord, like, I wanna have my kids watch me live the life that you've called me to too," so it's just really sweet and special, and we're figuring it out as we go, right?
Yes,
It's like,
we
"Okay, I
are.
need the Lord every day." We don't really have it figured out, but that's okay.
That's
'Cause
right.
we know the one who does. We know the one who
Yep.
has it figured out, so
He literally guides us through every single season.
thank you so much, Norma. I'm
Thank
super
you.
excited, this part of it and getting to know you more, and I just praise the Lord for you. Thanks, Norma.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the Destiny by Design podcast. I pray that you were encouraged. I pray that Norma's testimony would just encourage you to go after what the Lord is calling you to do, and that you would be reminded that even though you may have walked through really hard things in your life, that God can redeem it, He can turn it around, and He can use it for His glory. Be blessed today. Have a great day.